Okay, well, here's my first shot at a reaction video on a law enforcement officer-involved shooting. Give a little bit of background on my career. In year number 40 of my law enforcement career, I started in 1986. I've literally worked everything that you can work in law enforcement except for canine. I was a SWAT officer, a narcotics supervisor, narcotics officer. I've been a supervisor in criminal investigations. I've worked homicide cases, major crimes, officer-involved shootings, and as a supervisor, I always look at videos of officer-involved shootings and try and evaluate them from a supervisor perspective, meaning could I justify this officer's actions based on what I see on the video? And I try and give honest answers and an honest review of what I see. And if I think the officer screwed up, it is what it is. And people will look at it with a different perspective and say that I'm wrong. But at the end of the day, I think my opinions are pretty sound and my facts are backed up by case law and constitutional law and officer tactics and defensive tactics. So here's a shot at my first reaction video. This is the ICE shooting up in Minneapolis earlier today. I'm a cop's cop. I love law enforcement. This one ain't good. So you can see this maroon Honda Passport in the middle of the road, obviously blocking law enforcement. This is a couple of ICE agents pull up in that gray truck. You can see there's another agent right at the front left who shoots right now, ignoring that civilian that was in direct line of fire. And the vehicle drives a couple hundred feet, crashes into another parked car, and the agent who shot the female driver holsters his weapon. You don't see it on the video there, but he holsters his weapon and approaches her vehicle. Now, the official storyline from the Minneapolis Police Department earlier was that CPR and first aid were immediately rendered, but you can look at the timeline on the video. So this guy walking back right here, that's the officer that shot her. Normally, what should be happening at this point is a little bit more urgency in what you're doing. And if you're the officer who shot and you go up and check on the victim, you should be rendering aid. Or if the victim is still alive and you perceive that person as a threat, then they should be restrained. But this officer walks away. Probably a mindset thing. He doesn't know what to do. Unfortunately, there's the victim. Not really sure how she got half in and half out of the car. Those details will come out later. But you can see these other officers and ICE agents are walking up. There's still not a whole lot of urgency to get up and render first aid to her. And if she was considered such a threat, why are they not pulling her out of the vehicle, securing the vehicle? But they seem more concerned with keeping people back. And this just really bothers me as a former supervisor and someone who's worked officer-involved shootings. That bothers me. But what bothers me even more is that white or cream-colored SUV right there. That is the officer who shot this woman. He's doing a lot of things wrong right now. Number one, this is an officer-involved shooting scene. Everything should be frozen as it is. Leave everything in place, vehicles in place, all the evidence, officer locations, everything should be frozen in place. We should be setting up a security perimeter, but we're letting vehicles in, we're letting civilians in with phones, and there's just not a whole lot going on to secure this scene. And then you notice the officer who shot this woman, he left. He drove away and left the scene. There's nothing okay about that. And I know you'll hear people say, well, it was standard policy. He needs to get off the scene. That's bullshit. The officer needs to stay at the scene. And at the very least, if you're going to remove him from the scene, the vehicle stays exactly where it was, because when officers try or detectives try and recreate this shooting scene later, vehicle positions and tire marks and where people were standing and where shell casings are all become very relevant. Now, going back to the first part of the video where the officer shot this woman, there has been case law in the past that has made it very clear that an officer cannot put himself in harm's way and then claim self-defense. And in this particular case, and there's going to be a lot of review on this one, it does appear that that officer that fired put himself directly in front of that vehicle and then chose to fire. Although it does look like her wheels are turned to the right, she's not driving straight at him. Clearly, he was able to get out of the way. I'm not saying this lady was right. You don't see anything in this video what transpired before the officers got out of their vehicle, and then, what the officer who shot, what he was doing prior to the shooting. It looks like right there, he's holding up his phone at a citizen who was also recording, so not really sure what that was about. And then here, the driver of this truck, an ICE agent, gets out and uses some profanity, telling this lady to get the fuck out of the car. So tensions are already raised a little bit, and now we put ourselves in front of the vehicle. We're forcing a deadly force situation that didn't need to be done. And so there's just a lot of things wrong with this video, a lot of things wrong with this shooting. And again, being a cop's cop, I support law enforcement, but I can't support this one.